Hello guys, welcome to SAP Tutorials channel, and this will be a video where we're going to talk about the maintenance order configuration. So as you all know, maintenance order is one of the most important transactional data in SAP plant maintenance. So we're going to see, what are the key configuration steps for maintenance orders that we should know, because if you do not know the steps, you cannot configure your new order type or as per the requirement, if there is a client requirement that I need this kind of order type and I do need this kind of functionality in the order, then you should know these key and critical configuration steps. So for, regarding to the flow from notification to order and the closure of the order and the notification and the settlement and all those things, you can refer my video, which is known as a breakdown maintenance process, where I have already demonstrated the process from end to end, which is starting from the notification, then creation of the order, then doing the time confirmation, which will be your labor cost, and then doing the goods movement as well, consuming the material, and then doing the settlement. So all those things have been covered. So if you do not know the end-to-end flow, please go and watch that first, and after that come over here. Okay, then only it will be a beneficial video for you. Okay, so without wasting time, let us proceed. But before that, I would like to request all of you guys, if you are liking my videos and finding it useful, please like, share, and subscribe my channel. All right, son. Let's go ahead and understand. So maintenance orders, technical overview, key configurations, and IMG paths. Okay, IMG path means your SPRO configuration paths. All right. Implementation guide. IMG is known as implementation guide. Okay. So here we will discuss what are the key configurations, and then this is a slide, and after this I will jump into the system and will configure a new order type in front of you guys. That will clarify all your doubts. Okay, so let us proceed. So first is the order type configuration, which consists of defining order types, first of all, like PMO1, PMO2. Now, if I will talk about the phase models, like YV01, YA02, something like that, right? So it depends on you what kind of order type or naming convention you wanted to give. Okay, so based on the requirement, as I said, so standard are like PMO1, PMO2, PMO3, PMO4, and then for phase model it is YA01, YA02, something like that, right? First of all, please note that in this video, I will be not covering the configuration steps which are for phase, specifically for the phase model, right? Because what I am planning right now is that to put a phase model process, separate video for the phase model process. Okay, so where I will demonstrate all these, the end-to-end flow of the phase model, and then how the configuration works, how you can configure your phase statuses, the phases and the subphases and all those things. Okay, phase control codes, which will also include the configuration step of the approval, how you can trigger the approval of the maintenance order. So all those things will be covered, but it will be covered in a separate video. Okay, because I do not wanted to miss things here, so that's why I just wanted to have a separation of phase model, because phase model is something which was introduced later by SAP. So yes, so define order types, core identity, and number ranges. So you're going to define the order type like YS01 or ZS01, ZB01, something like that. Okay, or YBA01, YBA1, YBA2. So it consists of 4 characters only. You cannot define your order type more than 4 characters. Okay, and then the number ranges. Okay, so like other objects, equipments, notifications, task list, maintenance plan, maintenance item, you have to define the number ranges. Okay, the number ranges are critical because this will identify and this will put the unique numbers to the orders. Okay, how you gonna tell that this is my order number? Through the number ranges, and there should be unique always. There should be no duplication. Okay, so that is by SAP standard only. We just need to define the number ranges. That's it. Okay, and there are 2 types of number ranges, internal and external, which I have already described in my earlier videos. So you can just go and watch my earlier videos. Okay, I think the equipment one where I have described the number ranges. So second thing is the assign order types to planning plan. Now this is also very important. So suppose you are having like 20 or 30 planning plants, okay, and for every planning plant there might be a scenario the same order type should not be required. Okay, suppose for an example I am configuring YBA1 order type, and it should not be available across all the 30 planning plants. It should be only available for 10 planning plants, right? Customer do not want to roll out that order type for other planning plants as well, right? So that's why here so in interview it can be asked whether we can control the order type on the planning plant level or not. So the answer is yes, we can control the uh, order type on the planning plant level because there is a planning plant assignment. Okay. And then the order type dependent parameters like settlement, costing, and scheduling. So you have to define the settlement profile. I mean, define and assign the settlement profile to the order. Then only you can do the settlement. Then the costing. So in order to reflect the cost like labor cost, material cost, external labor cost, external services cost, something like that, right? So you need to configure the costing part as well, which is known as order type dependent parameters, and the scheduling. So if you wanted to have like forward or backward scheduling, then the scheduling comes into the picture. Okay, so let us jump to the SAP and we'll see how this looks like. Uh, so SPRO, go to plant maintenance here, then maintenance and service processing, and then maintenance and service orders, and then functions and settings for order types. Okay, so these are your configuration steps. So as I said, configure order types. Okay, so you can see here there are lots. So these are all standard: PMO1, PMO2, PM03, PMO4, PM05. These are all standards. Let us open one. Double click on this one. You will see this one. So this is your order type of 4 characters, and order category 30 will be automatically assigned to plant maintenance order. If you are configuring anything here, automatically the order category will be 30, which is your maintenance order. Okay. CO partner update, automatically it will be semi-active, which is your controlling. And then open item management components will be active automatically, it should be there. The revenue postings is not for maintenance order. Okay, so if someone is working on customer orders like CS, customer service module, then there this revenue posting will come into the picture. So this is not relevant for maintenance order, because maintenance order doesn't consist of any revenue, because it is something which is happening internally. We are not doing it for the customer. We are maintaining our own machine. Okay. And then, as I said, the settlement profile 40, you can see here maintenance measure. We will see inside, I mean, how the settlement profile can be created and what are the key fields inside that settlement profile. Okay. So budget profile is something if you wanted to control your order through the budget control, it is the controlling budget profile. Okay. So you can assign over here. Uh, in PS also, in project system also, you do have your budget profile. So if you wanted to control something through the project, so suppose this is a capex order, capital project order, right? And you wanted to integrate this order with your project system, then you can have the budget profile assigned over here. Okay, so these are important steps. Okay, and then you can see release immediately. It means immediately the order will be released. Okay, it will be not in created status, automatically it will be in release status. So this is something which is used for the preventive maintenance, because for preventive maintenance we do not want it to keep the order in created status. Okay, and activate phase model. So this is for the phase model, so that we will see. Okay, in separate video. So this is the order type. And then, as I said, the order type number ranges here. Okay, so these are the number ranges assigned. How you can see which number ranges has been assigned is to click over here is on the overview button. Click over here and just Control F or click on this binocular and type PM01. So now double click over here. You can see here. Okay, so this is your plant maintenance order. On which number range has been assigned? This one. This one has been assigned. Okay, this number range, maintenance and service orders. Okay, this one, This number range has been assigned. Okay. And then coming to the planning plant. So here you will be assigning your order type to the planning plant. So you have to search the order type. Let me search the order type. Look here. This is assigned to 0001 planning plant. Okay. And again, this is assigned to 0003 planning plant. Okay. And this is assigned to 1000. Yeah. So same order type you can assign to multiple planning plants. Okay. And settlement rule we will discuss later on. Yeah. So now coming to the settlement profile, which we discussed. The general order settlement here, 40 was assigned to our PM01 maintenance order. Okay. Uh, Maintain settlement profile, which was the one 40 for maintenance. Okay. So double click over here. It is selected to be settled in full. This is default. It should be there, right? It is all standard setting to be settled in full. We always settle full. I mean, we will not settle partial cost of the order. We will transfer all the cost to the cost center. Okay. So don't get confused over here. We will discuss further all these process in detail. But as I said, I have already uploaded one video, so please go and watch that video. I think that will be beneficial for you. Okay. So now here you can see default object type is CTR, which is your cost center. It means by default, the settlement will happen to the cost center. Okay, so based on your order type, so as for an example, OPEX order, which are operational based order can be settled to the cost center, but there are CAPEX order. So CAPEX order can be settled to the WBS element. So you can select here default object type. If you are creating any CAPEX order type, you can assign a settlement profile which is having a default object type WBS, or you have to create your own settlement profile with the WBS as a default object type and then assign that settlement profile to your CAPEX order type. Okay, you can see here WBS is there, right? So these are all cost object. Okay, but it is not like that you can settle your maintenance order cost to every cost object. There are limitations because maintenance order is your internal order. Okay, and here valid receivers you can set which can be allowed. Suppose in some cases you wanted to change the default settlement receiver onto a particular, into a particular order, then you can do that by this setting. If your setting is optional, you can select WBS as well for the OPEX. Okay. So these are mainly controlling things. So mainly the controlling CO consultant will be responsible for defining the settlement profile. Okay, because they understand better than us all these things. Because once you will settle the cost to the cost center, so there are a couple of controlling documents that will be getting generated. So this was the settlement profile. And what else we discussed? Costing and scheduling. All right. So now coming to the costing part. So here settings for the cost. Okay. So maintain value categories. Now what is value categories? So nothing is defined over here for this controlling area. Let us see this one. Yeah. So now you can see, as I said, there can be multiple type of cost that you wanted to incur or your maintenance order based on the business process. Okay, so internal labor is first, then external services, then internal materials, external materials, overhead costs, refurbishment. So these are all value categories. So suppose for an example, there is one maintenance order which does have like 1000 uh, cost sitting on that maintenance order. So it is not like that the 1000 is only internal labor. It can be distributed, it can be split into parts, like internal labor might be 300 or 400, then external services might be 200, so total is 600. Okay, then internal material, the material that the technician has consumed, withdrawn from the warehouse, company warehouse, and consume, it can be like 200, like 800. Okay, and then external material can be consumed as well, which is like creating a PR, purchase requisition, and then procuring the materials, right? 200. So it can be splitted among these value categories. But how should I know that, okay, the 400 is my internal labor? Through this valuation category only, okay? Otherwise, we will not, I mean, we can't split it up. So that's why valuation category, this value category is very important, okay? And this can be asked in an interview for sure. Okay, so this is the first step. We define the value categories, okay, and then we assign the cost elements to the value categories. You can see value category, this one, okay. So the cost element group has been assigned for this one, okay. So this configuration is done by consulting the FICO consultant, okay, and then define default values for categories. So if you want to make default, then you can use this one, okay. Then version is not important. This is not important. This is by standard. We do not disturb this setting. All right. Okay. Yeah. So now moving on to the next topic, which is settlement and costing. So as I already described the settlement profile, determine valid receivers such as cost center, WBS, or order. Okay. So for an example, you are creating an order which is refurbishment. So in that case, your receiver will be material only. Okay. Then cost element to settlement resource. So cost element is something which is FICO thing. Uh, but if you want me to describe the cost element, I will not describe it right now in this video, but maybe later on once we will finish the process, end-to-end process of this maintenance order, and we'll do the settlement. Then there I might explain it well, and you will also understand. Okay. Moving on, the activity types and control keys. Okay, so these are also key configurations of the maintenance order. Mm. So activity types are something like, for an example, you are, I mean, executing a corrective maintenance order, okay? And there, under the corrective maintenance order also, there can be n number type of activities you can perform, okay? So how you gonna separate those things? So you can use your active maintenance activity types, okay? So because yeah, because of that only SAP has given this provision. So as I written here, categorizes the work for reporting and cost analysis. Okay. And then the control key. So control key is something which will tell you whether it is internally done or externally done. Okay. And the values of operations set standard values for work center and activity type based on the order type. Okay. Moving on, status profiles and controls. So they are system status and user status. System status, for an example, is created, released, technical completion, which is known as TECO. CLSD is your business closer. So until TECO, order can consume cost. Okay. But once it is CLSD, business closed, you cannot post any cost to the maintenance order. Okay. So please note it down. In interview, they can ask you, if order has been takeoed, if the order has been, I mean, technically completed, can we still post the cost onto the order or not? Yes, we can. But after CLSD, which is your business closer, we cannot post any cost to the order. Okay, and then user status profile is something, suppose they are requirements, because system status is something where we do not have any control. It is automatic, right? But user status is something by which we can control the transactions. Okay, so as I also mentioned earlier, once we will complete this maintenance order topic, then I will upload a new video for this user status particularly, where I will show you how to configure and what is the use of user status. Okay, and under the user status we can control the user status based on the authorization. So for an example, there is a team, and for that team there is a supervisor. Okay, so we can authorize supervisor to set the user status approved. So we will only assign that authorization to the supervisor SAP user ID, so that he will only have the access to approve. His teammates cannot set the approve status. Okay, so this is all right now, guys. In my next video, what I will do, I will create a new order type in front of you guys. One by one, we will see the configuration step and we will also understand it better. Okay. So this is part one video. In part two, you will see the step-by-step creation of the order type. Okay, new order type. Okay, which will be step-by-step configuration. Okay. So till then, goodbye and take care of yourself and your family. And please like, share, and subscribe my channel. Thank you.